check, sound check. Talofa. All right, a few more seconds here. We'll get started. So, all right, sounds good. Can I get that? Thank you. All right, no, I'm good. All right, everybody, welcome to class number 5, Mato Samoan language class, Talofa Talk. This is gonna be well. If you missed the other classes, be sure to go back to Pacifica pages to the free class link. It's right up at the top. Just click on that. You can see all of the classes from the past. Let me start our recording. All right, you can see all of our classes from the past. Just pull them up, if you feel lost. Because this week we're like introducing, new concepts, but we're building on top of, the things that we already talked about. So you might feel lost today, but I'm trying to make everything as simple as possible and just try to break it down. Plus, we move a lot faster in here, as opposed to the other classes. Next week is our last week for this introductory class, and then we'll start over another time depending on whenever people say they can come back. So, just to review, so week 1 we did our subjects, right? So like oletama, oletene, oletama. We just identify different people, things, ideas, nouns, right? These are our nouns. And then we also, last week, week 2, we talked about our actions. Okay, so moe, like to sleep, to tala, to talk. I'm sorry, to open, tapuni, to close, to moe, to run. All of these different actions, right? So when we put our phrases together, it's like you'll say an action, and then who's doing the action or what's doing the action comes right after. That's like a common Samoan sentence structure or phrase structure. So action and then subject. So in this case, we have moe, which is to sleep, and then we have letama, moe letama. So the boy sleep, the boy sleep. But there's one thing that we're missing. A lot of times people will omit it because it's understood, and that is the tense. Are we talking past tense? That the boy slept? Was the was sleeping the boy, which is also past tense? Will sleep the boy? Is that gonna, or is it future tense? Or the boy sleeps, or the boy has slept. These are like present tense. So we just last class, which is Thursday. So on Tuesday I try to take a little longer for our review because it was, that was several days ago. So in this case, we're saying sa moe letama, sa moe letama. So this is a past tense. So this is like past tense, and we went over this in our in our other class. So just look at tense markers, like the different kind of tense markers. This is a past tense marker, and we talked about the difference between na and sa. Na is like past tense, the action is done, but if the action is still going on, so if I was, that's like saying was sleeping. So it's the past, but the boy was sleeping. So sa moy letama. So tense, action, subject. Okay, tense, action, subject. So and this is just like a common phrase structure in Samoan. All right. So the activity was to get you a list of verbs, right, or actions. Get you a list of those. Get you a list of subjects, and then put them together. So that was the activity, that you can do on your own. Even now, you can do, this is something that you can do every day. And then just put different tense markers on them, okay? Make it a past tense, slept the boy. Make it a future tense, will sleep the boy. Ole a moe le tama. Make it a present tense, e moe le tama. Ua moe le tama. Olo o moe le tama. Okay? So those are the different tense markers that oh, there we go. So remember, I know this looks kind of sloppy, but these are the different tense markers here. So na, past tense, what the action is complete. The boy went. Okay? Sa moe le tama. Well, in this case, we're saying go as going. So, man, I can't write up here. So the action is go. So na alu le tama. The boy went. The boy was going. Sa alu le tama. Okay, so just remember, alu is our action is to go, and then le tama, the boy, that's our subject. Okay, and then you do that for all of these. If we say the boy goes, e alu le tama, the boy goes. The boy has gone. Ua alu le tama. Olo'o alu le tama, the boy is going. Ole a alu le tama, the boy will go. Okay? So if it feels like I'm going fast, it's because it's review. Like I said, just go back to the other videos, and it explains it all. So, and this slide right here just kind of says the same thing, but we're just using the word tatalo. Tatalo is to pray. Le faife'au is the preacher or the minister, the pastor. So tatalo le faife'au. So sa tatalo le faife'au. So this is tatalo is to pray. Le faife'au is the minister. Okay, and then this is a past tense. So past tense, tatalo, past tense to pray, the minister. So the minister was praying. Sa tatalo le faife'au. Present tense, tatalo le faife'au. So the minister prays. The minister prays. All right, so you can see how it's a little different. The phrase structure throws people off. It threw me off. That's why once I got this part right here, the rest of the language was pretty easy. It's because everything's kind of mixed up, right? In terms of English, if you're programmed for English, this is kind of backwards to you, because we're saying prayed, was praying the preacher, or praised the preacher, as opposed to in English we would say the preacher praised or the preacher was praying. We would start with that. All right. So all right, so here's just another example. Ealu letama, we already talked about that. Present tense, go, the boy. The boy goes. Ealu letama. Ealu letama. Ole a, this should have the fatma mafa over the a, right? So we're going to stress it out. Ole a, alu letama. Future tense. So the boy will go. Will go, the boy. The boy will go. All right. And I'll leave this on the screen just for a second, just so you can, well, for the recording, basically. Go back to the recording and you can, practice these. Try not to look at this side over here and just translate them. John is running. So just, tamoe is to run. Okay, so if we're saying running, like that's the ing tense marker. So that would be olo'o. Olo'o, tamoe, yoange. Or even if you say John, that's cool too. So olo'o, tamoe, John, yoange, kyongi. Past tense, so past tense cry. So na tangi litama. Past tense, cry the boy. All right. I won't go through the rest of these, but it's pretty much the same. Tense, action, and then the subject. Okay. So, and then we remember our last one. This is also review. E iai. So if you ask somebody for something, you're gonna say e iai. So presently possessed. Presently possessed. And then the sao means like your. pen. Do you have a pen of yours? You got a pen? That's translated. That's what that means. Ella está penny. You got a pen, and you can change this to whatever word you want. Penitala. You got a pencil. You have a telephone. Telephone. Ella está telephone. Whatever word that is. So if you don't, instead of breaking everything down, just change this word right here. Whatever it is that you're asking for. Okay, and that'll throw people off, especially if they don't expect that you speak Samoan. Just say, just change this word, whatever you want to ask for. Here's another one, ta'avale, ta'avale, car. You have a car, so eyaisau ta'avale, eyaisau ka'avale. So you got a car. Then so we also talked about the difference between A class and O class. Remember that? So A class were, I don't have that slide right up, but A class are basically things that you're in charge of. Just to sum it up, you're in charge of these things, or you pick these things. So, but when we're talking about O class possessions, these are things that you're not in charge of, or like they were given to you, you have no choice about it, or they cover and protect you, like the fale. Fale is a house. Fale is going to cover and protect you, so it's an O class, right? So just look at the last class, class number 4, and it's going to tell you, toward the very end of the video, we talk about the difference between A class and O class. So up here we say, sao ta'avale. A car, you throw away a car, like you crash your car, whatever, you go get another car, right? What's the other thing? A pen, a pengi. You throw away a pen, go get you another pen. You're in charge of your pen. You're in charge of your car. In charge of your car, right? These are A-class possessions, A-class possessions. But when it comes to a fale is an O-class. Your relationships that you don't pick, like your mom, your dad, lo tama, your dad, lo tina, your mom, lo uso, lo tufafine, your brothers, your sisters, those kind of relationships. Anything that you're not in control of is going to be like a old class, okay? Just generally speaking, okay? So, again, fale, that covers and protects you, old class. So, ella hizo fale, right? As opposed to ella sao ta'avale, A class. Okay, so these are good questions to ask if you just want to ask people for stuff. Okay, and then the last one is leai. So a lot of you guys already know leai. Leai is no. Ioi is yes, right? Ioi, yes. Leai, no. But if we were to say iai, that is to possess, right? But if you le iai, we briefly talked about le, the L with the E, with the fatma mafa over the E, that the le makes it anything negative, right? So if we say le iai, then that's going to be not possessed. But in Samoan, like, you could say it together. So leai means no, but it also in this sentence structure means like not possess, not have. So leai. And this is something you'll hear a lot, and you can also tell people this. This shouldn't have a question mark on it. So leai sao out. So that should be like an exclamation point, actually. So you're telling somebody this is not your business. Not presently, not your business. Fe'au means like chores too, so you guys know like fe'au is a chore. But if you tell somebody leai sao fe'au, that's not your business. It ain't none of your business. So that should change right there. Sorry, I'm not looking over here. All right, no questions or nothing. All right, so now today we're going to introduce something else, right? So we talked about our tense, we talked about our action, subject. So where is the action happening? So if we were to say something like, alu is to go, right? And then we have the boy will go. Where will the boy go? So tense is will happen. It's a future tense. The action is going to be to go or alu. and then the subject or who's going to do the action is going to be the boy. And now what we're doing today is introducing where the boy is going. So the location. The location is going to be another subject. So the boy goes to the store. O le fale olor. I'm sorry, I le fale olor. The boy goes to the school. I le fale aonga. The boy, wherever the boy is going, is going to be a place. Okay, so that's another subject. It's another noun. So let me go back down here. There we go. So in this case, we're saying so presently, tangi. Tangi is to cry. Tangi is to cry. Who's going to cry? Who's doing the action? That's our subject. It's le pepe. Tangi le pepe. And then the location of the action or where everything is going to go down is le moenga. Moenga. In the bed. The bed. Okay. Now we know this is where it's happening, but before that happens, we have this thing right here. So this kind of introduces where it's going, right? So if we're saying the baby cries at the bed, the baby cries in the bed. It's kind of all understood to be in or at, right? So altogether, etangi le pepe y le moenga. So the baby cries at the bed or the baby cries in the bed, okay? Now, here's different, these, by the way, this is called a preposition in English. I don't want to get too much into like the English class and stuff like that, but this is what introduces this phrase right here, right? That introduces that. So this is called a preposition. So on this slide, E, right? You see the E? This right there introduces this whole phrase, in or at the bed. Le moenga, moenga. So, in or at the bed. So if we were to say ilunga o, that means above or beyond. These are things you can say today, like right now. Where is such and such? Ilunga o, le moenga, wherever they're at. Ilalo o is going to be underneath or below. I totonu o, inside of. Okay. Ifafo o, and this outside. If we say iluma o, that's in front of, right? And then itua o is behind. So all of these things are introducing where that action is happening. Is it in front of, in back of, below, above, all of that. So it's going to start with the E. All right, there's other ones as well, and we're going to get to those, but let's start with these right here. So I, ilunga o, ilalo o, itutonu o, ifafo o, iluma o, itua o. All right, so this is where the action is going to happen, and this is what introduces. So our original sentence was etangi le pepe y le moenga. So at the bed. But now we're saying etangi le pepe ilunga o le moenga. All right, above the bed or on top of the bed. I don't know, maybe it's a bunk bed or something. If we say etangi le pepe, the baby cries, ilalo o le moenga. So underneath the bed, below the bed. Okay, however, if you can envision that. Etangi le pepe, ilalo o le moenga. Etangi le pepe, itotonu o le moenga. So inside of the bed. So the baby cries inside of the bed. So you see how, and this is why I said go back and look at the other classes if you're lost, because we're building. Week 1, that subject. That's who's doing the action. Week 2, right there. That's what the action is. And then we paired the action with the tense. Is it past, present, or future? Tense, action, subject. Now, this week, today, and Thursday, we're talking about where the action is going to happen at. So, and we're also going to talk about time and, counting and stuff like that as well Thursday if we have time. So tense, action, the location is here, le moenga. So etangi le pepe I totonu o le moenga, inside of the bed. Okay, and then ifafo o le moenga, outside of the bed. Etangi le pepe ifafo o le moenga. That's where he cries at. The baby cries outside of the bed. All right, and then in front of the bed. e tangi le pepe I luma o le moenga. So, did we get all of I thought we talked. Okay, I tua o le moenga. So, behind the bed or in back of the bed, e tangi le pepe I tua o le moenga. All right. So, a lot of the Samoan sentences are phrased this way. Look in the Tusipaia, the Samoan Bible, the translation, and you'll see a lot of them are phrased this way. Not all of them. I would say maybe maybe 40-50%. And we'll talk next week. We'll talk about the other way to phrase this stuff. Okay. Okay. And now, if you see lae, we're saying the same thing, but lae is like over there. Like we're talking about a location that's not it's not here. So we're referencing somewhere else. So if I were to say etangi le pepe I tua o le moenga. So again, I'm saying the baby cries behind the bed. Okay, I tua o le moenga. But if I were to say etangi le pepe lae I tua o le moenga. The lae, we're just saying like over there behind the bed. So maybe we're over there, and I'm referencing like, yeah, it's over there behind the bed. He cries over there behind the bed. So that's what the la is. So if you ever hear that, and you're gonna hear it all the time, and I know if you're around Samoans, you hear it every single day probably. They're saying they're giving you a location of where something is happening, and they'll say like la and then they'll say I lunga o, I lalo o, I fafo o, I tutonu o. Wherever they're saying, they'll say lae, or they might just say, lae ile moenga, over there at the bed, or something like that. Okay, so 10 more minutes. And then just to combine it with the last activity that we had, we talked about e iai. So to have or to possess, right? So this, we know all of this part right here. We already talked about that. So e iai sao ta'avale. So if we were to ask this in a question, like this is right here, this is a question. So if we say e iai sao ta'avale, so do you have a car? So that part, we got that. If you've been here the last couple of weeks or from the start, then you understand this is going to be, do you have your car? You got a car? But now today what we're doing is we're going to add, we're saying la e. So we know that maybe we're across the street and that's your house over there. I say, e ai sao ta'avale, la e I tutonu o le fale ta'avale. So fale ta'avale, that is our location, okay? So fale ta'avale, that's a garage. So do you have a car? Do you have your car over there inside of the garage? So is your car over there in the garage? I mean, in translation, we could say several different ways. But e iai sao ta'avale, la e I totonu, inside of, over there inside of the garage. Is your car inside of the garage? Right? So you see how we're putting all of that together? I hope it's all coming together. I don't see any questions. Okay. Yeah, so do you have your car over there in the garage? Okay. All right, so oh wow. So I don't know if I went too fast or not because I didn't think we were yeah, we got 8 minutes left. So any questions on that part? No questions? Okay, so now we're going to get into counting. We're going to introduce this because we're going to start talking about time, and then I'll stop with the counting. So, and a lot of you guys are familiar with this, but I'll just go as if you guys don't know any of this stuff, okay? So it might seem remedial. So tasi, or you could say kasi, but I'm going to do all T style, like more formal type of way. Tasi, lua, tolu, fa, lima, ono, fitu, valu, iva, sefulu. And then I'll count the other way. Kasi, lua, kolu, fa, lima, ongo, fiku, valu, iva, sefulu. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with that. And then if you want to go higher, the the Samoan counting is really just kind of like built on one principle after another. So if we wanted to say 11, 10 is sefulu, right? So if you add a one, it's gonna be sefulu and then tasi, sefulu tasi, sefulu tasi. So that's 11. Sefulu lua, 12. Sefulu tolu, 13. Okay, and then just all the way down. Sefulu fa, sefulu lima, sefulu ono, sefulu fitu, sefulu valu, sefulu iva. And then when you get to 20, now it's going to be lua sefulu, because now we're saying there's two tens. Two tens. Lua sefulu. Lua sefulu. And then it starts all over again. But now you have to make sure that you're saying two tens, maletas, and wait, two tens and a one. So lua se fulutasi. If you hear somebody say male, like and, we talked about and then le is the, so and the one. So some people will say lua se fulu maletasi. That's 20, lua se fulu, and the one. So lua se fulu maletasi. That's all that male is. It just means and the one. Lua se fulu male lua. Lua se fulu male tolu. Okay? So, but you'll also hear people omit the male or and the and just say lua se fulu tasi, lua se fulu lua, lua se fulu kolu, lua se fulu fa, lua se fulu lima, and so forth. Right? Then you go to the next one. Tolu se fulu, tolu se fulu. So 30, or fa se fulu, lima se fulu, 60, ono se fulu. If we were to say fa, here we go, 41, fa se fulu tasi, or fa se fulu maletasi, same thing, okay? 70, fitu se fulu, okay? Fitu se fulu. If we were to say 56, lima se fulu male ono, lima se fulu ongo, same thing, 56. Tolu se fulu lua, right? Tolu se fulu lua. So this is our 30, and then you just put the 2. Or you might hear tolu se fulu malelua. Ono se fulu valu. When you get to 100, it's going to be selau, selau. It's the same thing. It's very, it just goes pretty much like the entire language. It builds on principles. So, selau. So if we were to say 183, so it's selau, and then valu sefulu, valu sefulu. So that's the 80, and then the 3, tolu. Selau, valu sefulu, tolu. Or we could say selau, valu sefulu male tolu. Valu, okay. Then 15. So, then we have sefulu lima, valu sefulu male lima, or valu sefulu lima. All right. So that's counting in Samoan. I mean, and then afe, afe, afe is going to be 1,000. Miliona is going to be million. But the main thing right now is just to master this part. If you can master this, then you're great. To be honest with you, a lot of Samoans, I think they say their numbers in English because it's a little easier to say 12 or like 56 instead of lima se fuluongo. No, well, it depends on who you're talking to. I'll say it like that. Just depends on who you're talking to. But just, you do want to master this because everybody, you count every single day, and it's a good thing to be able to understand and then speak those things. So, are there any questions? I know we just have 3 minutes left. I'm still learning how to use this program here. I don't see anything. All right. Well, oh wait. Can you repeat my and okay? Numbers. Okay, yeah. Oh, awesome, awesome. So my and I don't see the other part. So man, where is it at? If I can't find it, I'll just try to speak it, and then hopefully, uh, okay. So this is my so and sao. Okay, but most people know the L version, which is gonna be lao. Okay, that which is gonna be your. But we're talking about you're asking about my. So my is gonna be lau, lau. So that's an A class my. So if I were to say lau gelfongi or lau uo, my friend, I pick my friend. I can drop my friend, go get another friend. Um, lau. So um, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So and then lo'u. So O class. If I were to say lo'u tama, I'm talking about my dad. Lo'u tina, right? I'm not sure if I'm answering the question or not, but the A class my would be la'u. So that would be the I don't even think these are on here. Yeah, so the A class my is gonna be like the it's gonna be L A and then taofi or fa taofi and then the U. So that's la'u. And then but the O class my is gonna be lo'u. L O and then the fa'ataofi or the taofi, and then the u lo'u. So like lo'u tama. Hopefully I answered I answered that. I'll make sure I start our next class with that. The numbers always get me. Yeah. Okay. So somebody said maletolu. Can you say maletolu? Also say selau, malevalu, sefulu. Uh, malevalu. Okay. Yeah. So can you also say yeah, so okay, malevalu. So selau is 100, malevalu sefulu. Um, I guess you could say that. I don't hear people say that. They usually when they say the male, they're talking about the single digit. So they'll say like I'm assuming you're saying like 100 and then 80. So when it's 180, so it's be like selau valu sefulu. But yeah, you know what, you could say that. I really don't hear people say that, David. Most of the time, it's gonna be like for me, just my experience. I never say people are right or wrong. If you heard it like that, then you heard it. But if you, I usually hear people say selau valu sefulu, and let's just say it's 183, then it's selau valu sefulu malakolu. So 180 and the three. So that's usually how I hear it. But so or only said like Selau Valu Sefu. Yeah, that's usually how I hear it. Me personally. Like I said, I don't say what's right or wrong. That's for the people, the Fia Poco on the internet. They tell me every single day I'm wrong. So I don't tell people it's like this or like that. I just tell you how I hear it usually. But I don't. People like they're from all over and they hear it different kind of ways. So yeah, yeah. So typically I hear selau, valu sefulu. Then when you get to the single digit, that's when I hear that male, male. So male, no, not just for less than 10. It's just the single digit. So if let's say selau, fiku, fiku sefulu. So 102 male lua. It's just a single. When we get to that last digit, the single digit, the ones. So I know this is not math class, but like we got the thousands, afe. So one afe. So afe 1,800 valu selau 1,000. So afe valu selau, and then let's say 71. So fitu. I'm sorry I can't write it on here. So fitu and then sefulu. So 70 and then let's just say 2 malelua. So it's the single digit, the very last digit of the 1,000. What did I say? 871. Uh, no, 872. So 1,000 afe, and then valu, valu selau, and then what? What was the number? I should have wrote the number down. Yeah, so just when we get down to this, yeah, when we get down to the single digit, okay, then the ones place. That's when it's male, but everything before that is just, you know, um, we don't say the male until it gets down to the one, but that's just the way that I hear it. That's how I understand. Okay, all right, all right. Any other questions? I'm trying to master this thing over here. I think I got it. All right, guys. So yeah, just download it, watch it over if you need to. Look at the old ones, and we'll be back on. Yeah, it's similar to English, but I think Samoan is like it's longer only because the words are longer. That's all. But yeah, it is very similar to English. Yep. Yep. So yeah. See you guys on Thursday, 7 p.m. California time, and then there's some people, or there were some people from Australia and New Zealand. It's Wednesday and Friday for you guys. So, oh, you're welcome.